I was born ready, Marianne. I'm ready. Let's do this. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the biweekly training for G2X. I am Alexa Choi, Chief Operating Officer, and I am super excited to walk you through the system today. I don't know if you caught the fact that we had a major system update a couple of weeks ago, and today I'm going to be showing you things in the new system, new look and feel, all kinds of different workflows, whether you do BD, whether you do capture, whether you kind of straddle those two things. Most of the time people that come are a little bit in between there, or they are like CEOs or the executive suite having to do many things across the organization. So we're gonna kind of walk through those. I did take a look at the attendee list of folks that have signed up, so really happy to see some of my favorite friends. Hopefully they are able to make it, and if not, hopefully you'll get to watch this video. So either way, you're here with me in spirit. So that being said, it's 12:01, so I will start to share my screen and we will get going. Oh yeah, also thank you, Marianne. She always keeps me on track. Please feel free to use the chat to drop your LinkedIn. I'll do it first just so that you know what I mean. Drop your LinkedIn link here, and then you can connect with me, connect with each other. If you have questions, I will be checking in with Marianne a few different times during the training to make sure that I have all the questions answered. So feel free to type in questions here. And even if you want to come off mute and stop me and ask a question, I'm okay with that as well. So, all right. And every time I do this, because I know that some people might attend more than one, I try to start from a different angle. Sorry. I was eating a protein bar right before this, so I didn't get hangry. But anyway, so I try to start from a different angle and cover a different side of things. So that way, if you've seen this more than once, then you won't get bored. Hey, Julie. Hey, Mike. Yes, absolutely. It's my happiness. I think, you know, the ability to talk about BD and capture and different roles and workflows and G2X. These are all things that make me very happy. I do it all day, every day. So it's definitely my happiness to be here. So I will go ahead and start sharing my screen and we will get started for earnest. Okay. All right. I have G2X pulled up here. And the first thing I wanted to point out is the new look and feel. You're going to notice things to be a lot more compact. You're going to notice that you have a lot of your tools up here at the top, and you're going to see that, first of all, you have your profile. Please do fill out your profile, because I'm going to kind of like WikiLeak a few things during this training. And the first thing I'm going to WikiLeak is that we are already talking about on the dev side about how to build an interconnectivity within the system. So let's just say you're looking for somebody in Metaphase Consulting. That's my old company. Hey, Brett. Hey, Fred. Anyway, and then you go to their company profile, you pull it up and you see Fred's company profile within there. You click into it, you know he's the CEO, and you just want to be like, hey, Fred, what's up? How's Portugal last week? Cool. Hey, you know, and then he could reach back to you inside of the system so that you have that direct chat functionality within the system. So that's why you want to make sure that your profile is filled out with your LinkedIn information and all of those things. That's something we've started to talk about internally. I don't have a timeline on that, but I do know that that's something that's on our radar. So the second thing I wanted to say is this is a feature that is very exciting for everybody, is the ability to go light and dark. I actually prefer the dark mode, but I'm going to go back and forth today just to make it fun. So when you do set up your saved searches, all of your saved searches are going to be up here at the top. So just note that, you know, if you save searches and you have bookmarks, you just pop up here and scroll back and forth between those two. You can see that I have quite a few saved searches set up. And you can kind of see that I have some of the same ones set up, but it's easy because you can just come in here and delete them anytime you want to. And some things like ServiceNow, I still care about, you know, from my previous life of working really closely with ServiceNow. So it's really great to have that running in the background for me, you know, machine learning, cyber for FedCiv. These are all just kind of like put these in your head as like different options for saved searches. And then note that you can run, edit, or delete your saved searches. You can also turn your notifications on and off. It's kind of up to you. So now that we've kicked all of that off, Marianne, do we have any questions I should address up front, or are we good to get going?
Nope, you're good.
All right, perfect. Yes, today I was going to start from a different angle. I was going to start talking about events first. So G2X has one of the most robust events systems in the entire industry. And what does that mean when I say that? You know, people are like, oh yeah, you would say that. Yes, I would, because I came from a life of doing media and capture for 15 years. And I was trying to find events, especially post-COVID, when folks are no longer badged in. And that used to be my method of media and capture too, was, you know, I think I was badged into 6 different agencies at one time and go see my customers. It was awesome, you know, and job by with donuts. You know, I'm not going to say I ever did that. I totally did that. But now post COVID, a lot of folks don't go into the office. So what do? You find them at events. It's a big, huge thing right now. So if you come into our events database, what I like to do is I like to pick a week. So I just picked the last week of September. So it's saying, you know, from the 23rd to the 27th, and I hit search. And when I do that, you're going to see the last week of September pop up. Couple of things I wanted to point out. So NCMA Atlanta kickoff event, that is something that is one of those industry association events. We are partnered with NCMA on several different chapters, and that's one of them. Then also you're going to see that we have SOCOM's Acquisition Executive Small Business Forum. That is something that I think everybody should sign up for, especially if you are a small business, because they are getting really serious about their small business set aside numbers. And then, of course, if you just scroll through here and take a look, you can see that there's a lot of other things going on as well the last week, including one of our own events, the Art and Science Behind an SBA Mentor Protege joint venture. That is a event that's going to sell out. So if you're thinking about attending that the last week of September, I would definitely get some tickets. Okay. Couple of things to point out here is that you have the filter to look at things this week, virtual, in person, and free. You can also keyword search events as well. Some of the areas of improvement that we're looking to make for our events is, number one, putting the location in the title, because a lot of times you see a good event and you'll open it and you'll be like, oh, wow, this event happens to be in Albuquerque. Guess I'm not going to go out there for that, right? So it's good to know when you're looking at it that, hey, this event is actually in the middle of the country or on the other side of the country. And we're also looking to pull out some of the key speakers, because we know that when you're coming up here and you're going to keyword search, a lot of times you might keyword search something by a particular speaker, or like HHS, or, you know, by a vertical, something that might interest you as you are in here. So we know that. And so we're kind of looking to think about how we can improve our events kind of display and availability. And that kind of leads into one of the things I was hoping to tell you about today, is that G2X is serious about our feedback. And I know that Julie Cooper is on the call. Hey, Julie. She's our lead of our member services team. And she, you know, she's one of the ones that will reach out to you. If somebody logs on to G2X and gives us, there's going to be like a little customer survey and you're like, G2X sucks, one. If you do that, you might get a reach out from Julie being like, hey, I'm sorry that you didn't like it. What can you what can we do to make things right? You know, so every single time somebody sends one of those surveys or clicks on a number between 1 and 10, we get notice in Slack. So, you know, really appreciate you for that, Julie. And just know that we take your feedback seriously. Okay, so moving on. Sorry, that protein bar right beforehand. Note to self, that's not a good idea. We've got 3 different verticals here, but before I jump into the 3 different verticals, I wanted to talk about our search. Our advanced search is super robust, and the way that we've done it here is actually kind of really cool. So I'll tell you. You can pop in here by tags. You can pop in here by agencies. You can pop in here by categories. And so the categories really do date back to when G2X was only doing the daily take. And that's sort of how the system is built over the last 10 years. Within the last year, we've sort of grown from a newsletter, WordPress site type of thing over to a growth tools suite SaaS platform that is a lot more going on to it. And, you know, we did pull down the WordPress site and rebuild the whole thing from scratch, but we wanted to keep kind of our thought process behind what went into the daily take and why, and how's the data kind of structured. So we did lead with the awards. And as you guys know, from being longtime G2X users, right? the awards are sometimes so fresh that companies find out that they've lost more often than they've won. Because if they won, usually the agency will let you know in advance before they've told other people that they've lost. But a lot of times, you submit a bunch of proposals and you won't even know that you've lost because the government doesn't always tell you, right? So a lot of times you find out that you've lost in our site. So you can filter by awards, you can filter by industry moves, news, opportunities, jobs, and protests. So I think when I look at this list, if I was to think about the most important down to the least important, most important would probably be awards and opportunities, right? And then your industry moves, because let's just talk about, like, from a BD capture capacity, really, like, why somebody would care, right? So opportunities, of course, we pull from sam.gov, GSA, eBuy, and we started to also incorporate different opportunities from forecasts as well. We've got the CMS forecast that we're tracking, as well as the DHS forecast, which in my opinion is one of the better ones out there. So the opportunities, when I say we pull from eBuy, that's anybody that knows anything about this industry would be like, all right, so be more specific. A lot of different vehicles flow through eBuy. So we've got stars 3, vets 2, and 3 different flavors of the GSA schedule. So that means 541, 51 SIN, and a couple other SINs as well. So that's what the answer to that specific question when we get it. Why would you care about vets 2? I think I'm going to answer that question in just a second, because I have a whole talk track around that, by the way. But before I do that, I will just pop over here into awards and show you what it looks like to save search. So we just were like, all right, it'll show us all awards, track awards via email, create a saved search. This is a super nice banner popping up here. You can click there to save that search, or you can just click up here, that little gray button as well. You can hit that close button and you can then save your search. And then as you pop this up, you can name your saved search, you can preview it, you can add the tags, platforms, categories, all that, and then hit create, and it's going to go ahead and put it up here under this little bell, which is where you can find your saved searches. So that's the saved search feature and the advanced search feature. Please feel free to play around with it. The dev team spent a lot of time on the advanced search, and I think they like to hear feedback. So that would be great. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is our G2 exclusives. We have, oh, see, I put like a filter on this, didn't I? See, don't forget about your filters. Filtering is important. You have to put a filter on things and then things start not working. So I basically selected G2 exclusives, and it's under your search tab, G2 exclusives, second tab over. These are our custom reports that we build. We have extremely talented analysts on the back end. I say that being one of them sometimes, but we also have others, not just me, and she's incredible. And basically, we come in here when we write these different reports to try to help you, whether it's from how do I build a pipeline, who do I talk to, what do I actually say when I reach out to folks. And one of the articles we did write was about the fact that vets 2 got $1 billion funding bump. It didn't really tell anybody. They did it a little bit quietly. But really, it was like, why did they do that, and why should you care, right? Because, I mean, the likelihood that you're an SDVOSB and you're listening to me on this call is a little smaller than if you were an 8A or a woman-owned small business. But ultimately, even doesn't matter what your status is, honestly, this is probably important to you to know, as a lot of different big deals are looking to be competed, service disabled, veteran owned, and they're moving to the vets vehicle. So that's kind of what this was about, is kind of putting that, so you don't end up in oh my gosh, what do I do now? Right? You have a plan B set up, you have a plan C, you have all those plans in place. If the acquisition strategy moves around, you'll be ready. That was kind of the whole entire point of that. You're going to notice as well that we've got certain agencies in here kind of broken out for their pipeline. We just released the NIH one. We have DHA. We do a couple of industry specific ones. We also do opportunity specific ones. We've got $100 million DHS recompete, and then of course the apples to apples recompete, which I think they're now calling Compass. I think I heard a rumor they're going to go back and call it apples again, but if the government would just decide, that'd be great. Thanks. Yeah, so all right, those are our G2 exclusives. I'm going to pop over into our company profiles, but before I pop over here, I did want to say that our intelligence tab under here and you're gonna notice there's opportunities. This is an exciting time. This is my second WikiLeaks I'm about to tell you. Basically, we are building out this intelligence tab, and we will have awards, opportunities, and a pipeline feature. So all of that is coming out, and it will be out. I'm hoping that the pipeline feature gets released in the calendar year of 2024. We're doing a lot of work on it right now. Opportunities is actually almost live. That's why it's sitting here in beta. I think I might be in a canary ring, but it's gonna be out there sooner rather than later. So we're really excited about that. But before I go too far down that rabbit hole, I wanted to pop over here into our company profiles. And I'm going to, because I know people, learn different ways. And so I just wanted to pop on the white background again, and say that if you were looking for different companies, like let's just say you're looking for an 8A company that does Department of State work, right? So let me just give you a little example. I had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, Alexa, can you give me a list of women-owned small business 8As on Stars 2 that are top secret cleared? I was like, oh, I like a challenge. That's a good question. But let me tell you how I figured it out. Basically, I pulled Stars 2 awardees that were women-owned small businesses, and then I found out who does work at the Department of State. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, 9.5, maybe even 10 times out of 10, in order to do work at the Department of State, you have to be top secret cleared. So I automatically, backed into that list pretty easily. And if I didn't know that, it would have taken me a lot longer to get that list together, but I was able to get it over to that person within, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. So, yeah, so if you were looking for that type of thing, you could come in here, explore now, and work backwards from there. You're gonna notice that we have our popular companies pulling up. There is actually algorithms behind here where we are pulling everybody that's searching for different companies. These will change daily. So kind of come in here and see what people are looking for, but I'm gonna pop in here into visual connections, and you're going to note a couple of things right off the bat. We've got our highlights over here on the side, and the socioeconomic statuses as well. So that's really easy to know if you just want to, like, at a glance understand. One thing also to note about our company profiles is that it's open. I did notice there are a couple of my steampunk friends on the call today. Hey, steampunk. Steampunk is not yet a G2X member. Trust me, I've been trying for a while. So would love to have you. But one of the things I want to say about Steampunk is you could come in here and still take a look at your company profile. It's open, even if you're not a G2X member. That was the point of that, right? But when you do come in here and you are a G2X member, you can claim your profile and build out a few things like adding your documents, adding your capability statements, adding your, what's it called when people use your stuff and they like it and they write you a little testimony. Yes, that's it's like, what is that word called? So testimonials, you can upload anything that you like in the document section. We don't tell you what to upload. We don't upload it for you. You do that once you claim your profile. And then of course it will tell you everybody on G2X. And then if we are launching this new area over here called contract awards, where we are going to be telling you, this is still in beta. So, we're still working on this portion here, but we're going to tell you the federal contract award analysis by previously awarded contracts. And you can see, that we're still working on a few things here. But by and large, this is what it's going to look like. And there's going to be a third tab down here for subcontracts as well. So this will be a good source of data and intel once it gets there. So company profiles, really great area to learn a lot more about a company pretty quickly. Okay, so after that, the one thing I wanted to point out was I did want to jump into the daily take, and I'm just going to pause here super quick to see, Marianne, do we have any questions I should address?
Yes, where are these company profiles pulled?
Where are the company profiles pulled from? Marianne, was that the question? Okay, so we actually built the entire database around companies that were registered in SAM. Yeah, all of them, by the way. So if you are searching for a company that was doing work in a NAICS code that was maybe not super popular for the ones that we're familiar with, like the 541 NAICS code set or 611s, but maybe in like a soybean growing NAICS code, who knows what it is. There's a high likelihood that they're going to be in there as well. We pulled the entire data set and built it around it. However, if you're like a couple of my friends who have a SAM profile that is defunct, it's not going to pop up. You have to have an active SAM profile to be in the company profiles. So hopefully that answers the question. Any other questions, Marianne? That was a good question.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, fantastic. I will keep moving along. So what you're looking at right here, this is the daily take, and this is something that you'll get in your inbox every single day. The reason why I'm showing it to you is because I wanted to point out that we did launch an AI tool earlier this year called Lumen. And Lumen is really an RFP, RFI shredder, and it's going to help you get to a do I care faster. So if you come in here, you're going to note that you have this little brain here. And then if you hit this AI opportunity analysis, the daily take team, who's also awesome, these guys are great. They have already done the hard work for you and uploaded the documents into Lumen. And all you have to do is click that button, go in there and confirm the documents you wanted to read through, and then hit run, and it will run for you. So if you're gonna, one of the deep cut things I was gonna tell you is that if you don't see one of these brains on it, it's probably an e-buy opportunity. These are probably e-buys because we're not uploading e-buys into Lumen. So I popped over to Lumen. So what I basically did was I did one of these. I clicked the link on one of them to prepare for this training. And it was something from the Air Force Material Command. And it is a recompete. Actually, this one, you know, I always fondly remember my BD capture days. And it was one that this is the kind of thing I would love to chase, to be honest with you, because this is a source of SOT where the government's like, okay, by October 26th, you tell me if you can do these kind of things. And the kind of things that they want you to do were really exciting. Agile, SharePoint, document content management, coaching, outreach, communication. It's like all these things you could really sink your teeth into it. So when I did a little bit of research and when I was talking to Lumen here, which you can kind of see my conversation with Lumen, the cool thing was I did a little tiny bit of research. This was an almost $90 million sole source that they're recompeting 8A. So I was like, oh man, if I was still working for the 8A company, I would go after this. Because one thing folks don't know about the Air Force is like they're not super tied into their incumbents. They're just like, you know, give me a good technical, give me a company that knows what they're doing. So this right here was a really good opportunity, I think. Okay, anyway, that's Lumen. I'm gonna go along and I'm gonna show you guys what GovAIQ looks like. And I'm gonna go back actually. So GovAIQ is our actual proposal AI sort of, what are we calling this right now? We're calling it a Pink Team Draft Creator. I just made that up. But if you, that basically is what it is. So if you're on the G2X site here, and if you come over here, you're gonna see Gov, you can access GovAIQ. It is included within your subscription as long as you don't have an individual membership. G2X is set up with two kinds of memberships, individual and then corporate. Our corporate memberships include GovAIQ as part of it. Our individual memberships, yeah, does not come with GovAIQ. So if we pop over into GovAIQ, you can create some sort of a, whatever it is, you can upload from your computer, upload from SAM. And if you do that, then you hit that create button, it's gonna ask you, what do you wanna title it, name it, which documents do you wanna train it on? So I trained it on this Air Force one. Wow, looks like I'm a big fan of the Air Force. Which actually I am a big fan of the Air Force, absolutely. Come in here, I already trained the bots on this particular statement of work. So I didn't have to make you sit through 15 minutes of it reading and training and reading and training. So some of the feedback we get is that it takes a long time. Look, I know in this day and age, everybody wants everything right now. I get it, I do too. But you're training AI bots and this takes time. So if you upload 15 documents and want the bots to read it, chill, go make a sandwich and come back. And then once you get back, this is what it's gonna look like. It's going to pull together a pink team draft, basically. It's gonna give you some really great sort of starting points on all the things that they're asking for. So the government asked for, do team member introductions, experience qualifications, education, training. You know, these are all things that we've done before. Talk about your contract management services. So this whole thing is gonna put together things for you. So what do you do from here? You're like, I never uploaded my past performance. We don't do that here in this version of GovAIQ. So if you highlight this and hit command, you can actually type in here and say, please add my past performance, and then paste it in here and then expand. You hit that expand, make it more detailed, and that will actually drop in your past performance in that section. Also, it has a really nice rich editor here where if you forward slash, you can hit autocomplete and it'll autocomplete that for you. So then you can kind of come in here and play around with things. And then, you can copy and paste, drop that into your pink team draft, get things started. I have to be honest with you. I feel like it might be a step before pink. It might even be like dark blue, right? Your dark blue draft, when you're wrangling your solutions architects and you're wrangling all your things together and you're getting your proposal lifted off, right? And then this is kind of a good time to really use GovAIQ. So, okay. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna pop over and answer any questions that you all might have. Let's see. Are safe searches unique to individuals, or you can see safe searches from others in your company? Trevor, that's a great question. Yeah, they are unique to you. Where the company profile is pulled from? Yeah, they're a whole database built around SAM.gov. I think I already answered that question. And any other questions? I know we have like 3 or 4 minutes left. So if you guys don't have any questions, then I'm going to do just like a little bit more talking about stuff. No? Okay, great. Then let me share my screen again. Let me keep talking. So I'm going to pop back in here, and we were in GovAIQ. One of the things I wanted to point out about GovAIQ is we also have an analyst version as well. This looks very similar to Lumen. And so you can come in here and upload your RFQs and really zero down on different parts and pieces. And I think really, if you're looking to build gate reviews, I know that I did that job for many years. So when you're going into your gate reviews, understanding what the evaluation criteria can sometimes be hard to derive from all of the documents. So if you upload them here and just ask that question and then pull it out of there, so then drop it into of course, you're going to want to double check. But before you go in and say that anything did anything, hopefully with AI, you always double check, right? But you're going to get a good idea of it here, go back and be like, yep, that's right. Put it in your PowerPoint, present it to your execs. That's a good capture gate review plan. I think if you're pretty early on in the process and people want to know well, how's it going to be evaluated, right? Just note that here within GovAIQ, you have your analyst. Your co-pilot is really that tool where it's like your proposal writer. That's the one that built out that draft for you. And then when you're at your top level workspace, you also have your team. So you can create a whole team around different opportunities and have a team hub and all of those things. I'm going to stop sharing. Could you talk about how the platform could support specific capture sales? For example, is there ability to pull org charts, POCs, perhaps the lineage of specific opportunity? For example, Compass was previously competed, blah, blah, blah. Known subs. Yes, Trevor. Absolutely. I've got 2 questions, so let me pop in there and address exactly that question for that exact opportunity. Why not? Let's do that. So, and Trevor, I have to be honest with you that the system is still being built out. So we're not going to let me address the org chart question up front. I used to work for GovWin. We had org charts. We had humans calling all the people and updating it. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's a huge, gigantic pain in the ass. I'm also going to tell you that Leadership Connect is probably the one that does it the best. And that system is $30,000 a year for a reason. So do we have org charts? No, we do not. I do suspect that we're going to have a more robust people database, which is over here. And also when you pop into the people database, you're going to note that the government is in here. I would say that like 1/4 of our readers are government themselves. So as you come in here into the different pages, you're going to start to see the government folks popping up. So for example, like Tim King, CISA, DHS right there. That's like one good example of that. But let me go and answer your question specifically. The best way of answering that question really is apples to apples. We wrote this massive article about it, and we told you who every single one of the incumbents are. How would you team? Who should you talk to? Actually contracting officer, program officer information, how it was competed the last time around, how it's gonna be competed this time around, all kinds of different information. So, you know, very, very detailed. So do we do that for every opportunity? No, but that's one of the good things about being super duper connected with us, is if you send us a note and tell us what you're looking for, chances are you could get a report like that. So we love to support however we can. Okay, and with that, it is 12:30. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Oh, look, hold on, hold on. Sorry, there's one more question. Do you have a feature where it helps you find potential teaming partners? Absolutely, Christina. Yes, that's our company profile section. You can go in there and find companies that do work with any NAICS code, any size standard, in any agency, and have them pop up with their past performance. That was the whole point when we built it. So feel free to play with it. We look forward to talking to everybody. I'll send this video out and I will send a note to every single person that attended. We appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate that. We work really hard on it. I hope you all have a great day. And I look forward to seeing you maybe at GovJam. See y'all later.